Ha, hinikaragiwina, hanichara haipi, ho chankarajara, huwashuchwinga hingaide, maechete rajara Daniel dilanga hingaide, cha hikikara chi jan wan unhaje, manicho harujara regiachiaje. Greetings, classmates. My name is Danielle DeLong, and together with Betty Wayman, we are working on a final group project of analyzing the Ho-Chunk Nation Tribal Action Plan. The Ho-Chunk Nation, in order to address and achieve their goals of prevention, intervention, and treatment of alcohol and substance abuse, have developed a Tribal Action Plan. The vision for the Tribal Action Plan is one that involves overall wellness for the community, with the family as the center nucleus of all. From our family emanates a cultural diversity with strong spiritual beliefs of Christian, traditional, and other belief systems. We embark on our journeys towards wellness. We embrace song, dance, higher education, good nutrition, stable mental health, strong bodies, minds, and spirits. We encourage employees and their families to join us. This was a quote from the Ho-Chunk Nation Tribal Action Plan Vision. Betty will now walk us through some of our SWOT analysis.
Vision class, my name is Betty Wayman. I worked with Roy Tendor and Danielle DeLong on the Ho-Chunk Nation Tribal Action Plan. We did a SWOT analysis, and the strengths are the Ho-Chunk Nation has great collaboration within several departments, which includes the legislative resolutions of support are essential in providing the funding of the goals and initiatives needed to implement the plan. With collaborations of the federal entities have been mandated to coordinate and provide resources to assist Indian tribes. Incorporation of federal and state programs and funding is a strength towards making the plan effective. Ho-Chunk Nation members and their enrollment spread, as well as county representation, which greatly support the need for the plan and services as strengthening the purpose and vision. The weaknesses. Historical timeline provided in the report shares the displacement of Ho-Chunk Nation through various federal acts and the decline in population which resulted in not one or two united or closely located land bases or population areas. A checkerboard of trust land throughout the state of Wisconsin is the result. Another weakness that was not easily determined from the data provided was the supporting documentation to the current outcomes to the developments for historical and generational trauma. So a weakness of the plan was updating the data to be tied to the tribal resources. There is awareness of drug and alcohol abuse within the Ho-Chunk Nation, and others within other tribes and within the outlying communities may perceive the ongoing epidemic as being unaddressed within the nation. The comparison what other tribal nations are doing in order to combat the alcohol and drug epidemic that each are facing within their own community. Each of the tribes have declared a state of emergency to help with the alcohol and drug issues that each nation is dealing with. The Ho-Chunk work towards prevention, and the goal is to provide a coordinated, comprehensive prevention and treatment plan. The nation has established enforceable tribal laws related to substance abuse and developed partnerships with local, state, tribal, and federal agencies. Tribal Action Plan also includes developing job training and workforce development support for those in treatment.
The Ho-Chunk Nation Tribal Action Plan represents all of the tribal members living within the state of Wisconsin as well as outside as at-large tribal members. Including all tribal members presents more work, but it also helps with data collection and the increased number of tribal members being served. So this is definitely an opportunity for potential grants and the goal of addressing the needs of not only tribal members but the community within the tribal jurisdiction. The Tribal Action Plan also has opportunities for increased educational learning for all tribal members as well as the community. There's also federal, state, and county memorandums of understanding and collaborations that are happening. Some of the threats within the Ho-Chunk Nation Tribal Action Plan include the fact that there will be competitive funding within grants because drug and alcohol abuse is not Ho-Chunk specific. There are other tribes as well as state and county efforts being made to access grants. Also, there are causal factors of substance abuse that we face, as well as the adverse childhood experience factors have been increasing over the past several years, and that is something that is definitely a threat to our community. And now Betty will take us through through other tribal nations within Wisconsin to see what they're doing to combat alcohol and drug epidemics that each one of their communities are facing. She is starting off with the Ho-Chunk Nation.
Awareness of the epidemic of substance abuse within the community by providing culturally based activities, focusing on sober activities to enhance the communication within the nation and its community. Educating the community will allow the nation to fight and keep the community safe and sober. Oneidas have developed and established comprehensive youth development, prevention, and intervention strategies. Menominee Nation development of the Circle House provides assistance for certain programs, works with families and individuals in need of support and resources towards recovery. TAP also mentions HOPE, Heroin Opioid Prevention Education Services, which works with 5 other counties. The 3 TAPs are inclusive of federal, state, and tribal collaborations. Lac Flambeau, despite the lack of an actual TAP, has set forth initiatives to address the drug and alcohol epidemic within the tribe. Youth camps have been established with the youth that are willing to learn about hunting and fishing, collaborating with Native Connections, which meet with the high school students to provide education on substance abuse and suicide prevention. All 4 tribes have a few common goals, the main goal being to help provide services to their tribal members in order to help deal with the substance abuse. Tribal nations create these kinds of plans that are wanting to better their membership and to prevent them from making wrong choices. All tribal nations are seeking many opportunities that will help our tribal membership. Each tribe has their intentions to provide education to all families and other tribal membership. The more services that you provide to your community, the more likely that they will want to make those changes that are needed. A common and shared vision of having our membership continue to make these changes that are needed. A common and shared vision of having our membership continue to live in a good way is the goal of the tribal action plans.
In conclusion, the Tribal Action Plan of the Ho-Chunk Nation is thorough and comprehensive. It does need to be consistently updated in a collaborative effort by the organizing committee, and data will constantly be needed to address the successes and the challenges moving forward. The vision is being met as long as all of the departments and collaborations can remain on the same page, understanding that the needs have yet to be fully addressed, and unity between the departments, federal, and state collaborations are essential for progress to be made. Perhaps the most dire of the Ho-Chunk Nation Tribal Action Plans is in the hands of the legislature. The Tribal Action Plan is behind on its timeline due to the pandemic, but they are now looking for land to be allocated and for the construction of treatment and wellness centers, as well as funding needed to do so. If the Ho-Chunk Nation government truly wishes to create change, then the funding needs to be allocated in order to implement the action intended in the plan. Overall progress has been made with the development of the Tribal Action Plan. The real question that will only be available as time progresses is, will the Tribal Action Plan impact the drug and alcohol epidemic in ways of reduction of the associated traumas to individuals and the tribal communities? Hello again, classmates. This is Danielle, and on behalf of Betty and myself, I just wanted to say thank you all for listening and watching our presentation on the Ho-Chunk Nation Tribal Action Plan. This action plan was originally initiated in 2017. However, due to the pandemic, the Ho-Chunk Nation had to put the action plan on pause. And just as of recently, new board members or new committee members have been appointed, and the Tribal Action Plan goals and objectives are now being rejuvenated, and we definitely hope that other tribes have success in their tribal action plans, and I look forward to watching and learning how tribal action plans can be implemented successfully. Thank you again, and wish you all well.